Hey guys, Coach Cotton here from K's Academy. Going to go over our pre-throw hip activation series. Basically our principles, our idea behind this one is really try to teach our hips to start moving correctly, really from a anterior tilt, posterior tilt situation. So we're really trying to teach our hips to tuck under and flare out. And that's really important in terms of the drive phase, being able to get into hip extension and extend that lead hip. Whereas a lot of times we see guys that are like linear drivers and they do a bad job of getting their hip through. When we rotate, we want to obviously create rotation, but we also want to create posterior pelvic tilt, which drives hip extension and creates power. So it's a weird feeling for a lot of people. We screen for this as well. So what we do is we start on all fours, and we're going to just do a cat-cow, and we're really going to focus on tucking our posterior hips underneath, and as we do, we're going to press our spine to the ceiling. So it looks kind of like this. As I'm doing my posterior tilt, I'm going to look at my belly button, push it away. I'm going to exhale in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then as I come down through an anterior tilt, I'm really going to try to drive through my lower back, tuck it in, push it away. From there, we'll go arms across the chest, kind of like in a tall kneeling position. Same principle. Now all I want to do is try to pretend like my knees are frozen, which they are, and my shoulders are frozen. And I'm just going to try to work on tucking those hips underneath and then drive it out. So tuck it in, drive it out. So tuck it in, drive it out. Moving through our lower back, not through our upper back. Coming up from there, what we'll do is as a right-handed pitcher, I'll put my left leg out. Same thing, arms across the chest. And what I'll try to do is I'll actually try to, if I'm throwing to my catcher here, what I want to do is I want to get into a slight hip hinge, and then as I come out of it, my goal is try to keep my shoulders from not moving. And then as I come up and out in hip extension, I'm going to try to rotate towards my catcher without my upper body moving with it, and I'll even pivot on my front heel a little bit and really kind of flex, for me as a right-handed pitcher, my right glute. So hip hinge, come out of it and rotate. Careful not to come out of it with my upper body. And then from there, we'll stand up. Same deal, arms across the chest, nice and athletic. And basically what I'm trying to do is just move my pelvis back and forth without my upper body moving with it. So we're trying to isolate pelvic movement. You'll get a lot of what we call like an earthquake in there. So that is our hip activation series pre-throw. We'll also add in things with like core velocity belt or other modalities to kind of really help us feel those patterns.